Howdy, y'all. Oh, hello. Howdy, y'all, and welcome to the next week of the Shake and Bake multi-series challenge, I should say. Week 5, both races this week at Brands Hatch. The GT's using the full alternate course, which is the full track using both chicanes, whereas the touring cars are simply using the vanilla regular full circuit. No laps this week. Had some trouble with the recording, so no preview laps, but we could always just kind of take you out there for a stroll around the racetrack. And I believe that is what I will do. We'll head out there in practice with these guys, which they should be qualifying here pretty soon. See if I can get away from everybody, not cause any issues. We take the Shake and Bake Corvette out for a run around. There we go. So it starts us off right here in one of the harder portions of the racetrack. We'll just take a nice short lap. I'm not going for hot laps here, but want to not do what I just did and put your left side tires out in the grass. This is a track which will grab your stuff, as you can see. Move over to qualifying, because that'll help us here. Okay, so anyways, want to take this double apex, straighten up this corner, head off into the front stretch here. Just feather it just a little bit down the front straight. This might actually be the most difficult corner on the track here, turn 1. Want to get down the brakes, want to try to get down to this first curb, then swing out to the left side, and then get back down to the racetrack for turn 2 there. Then swing out a little bit. You want to take this a little bit harder than, not as hard as I just did, but you want to swing out double apex, or not double late apex, that corner I should say. Want to get that curb, swing out to this curb. Full power down through this little tunnel. Try to get over to the left side curb so you can straighten that out. Making laps ice cold is not a good idea, children. Want to swing out so that you can straighten out this exit here. Max speed. Swing over to the left and then feather the throttle just a little bit less than I did there. So you can make max speed and get max run down the front straight. And that is what ends up being a lap around Lime Rock.
Well done. Currently P7 after qualifying.
And that horrid lap puts us at P7 somehow, which is actually kind of funny. But yeah, the 55s are about where you should expect the lap times to be. Skyline currently leading with the 55.2, Ferrari Nut the 55.3. And Leaf Justin 24, the 55.5. Those drivers all within 3.5 tenths of each other. Flowdog 48, the local driver who has been camped out in the woods outside of the racetrack the entire week, making laps. He is in P4 currently with a 55.5. Stan Drum's the last driver inside the 55 with a 55.9. Only 2.5 minutes remaining in this practice session. Currently hearing some issues with a car glitching in and out. Currently, the top 5 remaining inside the 55s. Mayor of Bag City up to 7th with a 56-1. Scarface 3D with a 56 flat in 6th. Top 8 all separated by a single second. Then a pretty large gap back to 9th through 12th. Only driver currently not on the racetrack is Leaf Justin 24. He has finished his qualifying laps with a 55.5. $20 seconds remaining until we get going here. Again, this race likely going to use the medium tire in the race. Everyone obviously qualifying on the softs. The medium tire going to be the way to go for the race. And here we go. Taking a look at the starting lineup, Skyland 4 on the front row with a 55.2. Ferrari Nut 94 alongside him with a 55.3. Mayor of Bag City able to get up to 3rd with a 55.4. Leaf Justin 24 with a 55.5. Flowdog 48 with a 55.5. Stanton Drums 94 rolling off 6th with a 55.975. Scarface 3D on the inside of row 4 with a 56.08. Legit on the outside of row 4 with a 56.2. Dion 4 Dub will roll off P9. Sober David will also be in row 5 with a 57.021. Jacob X99 with a 57.1, rolling off 11th. JC X124104, lots of numbers there, with a 57.247. And Gary from Canada, with no time put down on, will roll off dead last in his Caterpillar machine. And that is your field. And we're about to go green here in a minute. We will do our pace lap first. And then we will be ready to go green. There we go. Gotta wait for Forza to load. Should be ready to go here in a second. There we go. Alright. Got the pace lap started. Let's see. Bring up all of our fun stuff. Skyland's going to take him through. It's going to be a really interesting racetrack to pace laps around. That's one of the features of this racetrack, is it's relatively narrow. Not a lot of room for race cars, especially side by side. So here we go, working our way down the backstretch. Into the second chicane. Only 1 quarter remaining before we go green. And these drivers have the option to start the race between the pit road entry and the start-finish line. Skyline 4 going to lead them off inside a Ferrari nut. As the camera shakes, they're about to go green here. Skyline gets a great jump. Ferrari side by side with Maribag City. Now he's able to clear. Maribag City clears for third. Our front 4 are all single file. And looking back from Skyline 4, able to take the lead here as they go through a very narrow portion of the racetrack, go through the chicane. Side by side back there. I believe that was for about the 5th position. Legit currently following back through the field. We're riding on board Flow Dog 48 in his white and purple and pink ally machine. Harkening back to Jimmy Johnson, hopefully not having a current career Jimmy Johnson type run. Already our front 6 has put out quite the gap on the rest of the field. And we'll ride with Sober David through one of the most difficult parts of the racetrack, put a tire out in the grass. That is going to cost him a ton of ground. He will fall back all the way to dead last, 13th in the field. Plenty of time to make up for that mistake. This is a 24-lap race, or a 23-lap race, I should say. So plenty of time to make up for that mistake, but he has definitely made tonight a lot more difficult for himself. Right, really using a shallow line through that final little chicane. Not able to make that work for him as Skyline 4 able to pull out to a relatively sizable lead. Both of them pulling away from Mayor of Bag City and Leaf Justin. That is the battle for third. Meanwhile, for Flowdog 48, you saw him back there make the pass on Stanton Drums 94. He's able to move up into the 5th position. Stanton back to 6th. Oh, looking up there, you can see Ferrari not really using all the racetrack, doing everything he can to try to run down that Porsche of Skyline 4. The Viper really swinging through all these corners. Will he try to use that shallow entry? He does again. Difficult corner for Mayor of Bag City. Justin gets into his rear bumper. But the battle for the lead seems to accordion together over the course of a lap, and then it stretches back out in that final chicane where Ferrari-Nut's been trying to get to the inside to take that line away from Skyline 4. We'll see if he tries that again. Really able to get close to him, but just hasn't been able to find a place to pass. Will he attempt that same move here once again, or will he try something a little bit different? This time he runs a little wider line, able to stay with the Porsche, really loose. Puts a tire in the grass. What a save. What a job by Ferrari Nut to find the hole and make that pass. And meanwhile, Mayor of Bag City with some issues as he is spun out. Oh, his car is majorly hurt. You can definitely tell. And there he goes, down to pit road to get that car worked on. No, we do not want to go to the pre-race menu. Several other drivers have also hit pit road here. I think many were damaged in this incident. Dion, mayor of Bag City, and Legit, all seemingly involved in that wreck. Who will come to pit road? I imagine some of these drivers will opt to come in and take the soft tires. We'll see how many do so. Depends on how long these softs will last. Very short lap. I imagine some are going to try it. Most everyone comes in, it looks like. Actually, about split. Split half and half. Ferrari Nut stays out. Flow Dog stays out, as well as Stanton, Scarface, and Gary from Canada. So Skyland, our top 5 all came into pit. Skyland, Leaf, Justin, JC, Jacob, and Sober David all coming in to put on, I imagine, the soft tires there. Meanwhile, Dion, 4Dub, Mayor of Bag City, and Legit all were involved in that incident that brought out this yellow flag. See the tire wear on these cars with should change here, I would imagine. Looks like the pressures. Let's take a look at the tire wear on the Viper, as they will go green here this next time around on the Viper's call. So only 13.4%. Again, not an issue for those drivers on the medium tires. Mediums will make it, especially with these yellow flag laps. The difficulty is going to come from making the soft tires last, which they'll have to run 16 hard green flag laps. Yeah, not sure what the number is, but imagining based on who came in, I believe they feel that the soft tires will be beneficial here, but we've seen this track be very difficult to make passes on. Ferrari at 94 getting really squirrely, coming to the green. And here we go. Green flag is out. We had somebody coming down pit road, maybe with some damage. Dion 4Dub came to pit road at the green. Meanwhile, you can see Stanton Drums trying to make a move on the inside of Flow Dog, some contact. Ferrari Nut loves seeing that. He's going to pull out to a 3-car length lead. Here's some contact back in the field. Oh, this is a mess here for about the 4th spot. Skyland 4 on those fresh tires. A little bit of front end damage. That probably won't hurt him at all. But him and Leaf Justin both make a aggressive move through the chicane. They're able to take that spot away from Scarface. Now Scarface is another position back to 7th. Looking back from Ferrari Nut as they snake through that field. Oh! We have another incident in the back. Not sure, but it sounded like it involved JC. Oh, wow, big contact. Couple of cars involved here. Scarface 3D, who did not take tires that time, involved in that incident. JC also involved. His car seems to be very hurt. Take a look at the old telemetry. See if we can get a... Yep, that car's pretty beat up. Oh! And there comes Dion4Dub giving him a little chin music as he goes by. That has brought out the yellow here once again. So our first race with multiple yellows, and again, that's going to change things up. Do you want to get on the soft tires now? If you're late, I believe with these caution laps, those tires that they put on should make it. So let's take a look at the top three here. Ferrari 94 is your leader, followed by Flowdog 48 in second, Stanton Drums 94 in third. Skyland, the first of those drivers that took tires on the previous yellow, is in fourth, with Leaf Justin 24 and Jacob X99 in fifth and sixth, also on that same strategy. Mayor of Back City, who brought out the first yellow, is currently in the seventh spot. Sober David, who we saw go wide on lap 2, he's rebounded back to 8th. Legit is in 9th. Gary from Canada 10th. And then Dion4Dub in 11th, who had to pit at the beginning of that of their last restart. Scarface 3D and JC, the two involved in this current yellow, currently shotgun on the field in 12th and 13th. So something we have seen tonight that we have not seen in previous races is a ton of yellows. A lot of damage, a lot of incidents so far. We should go green this time around, I believe, although we are waiting on some of the field to catch back up. I guess we will find out here. Okay, they are not going green here this time around. They're going to wait for the rest of the field to catch back up. So when we go green, we'll have 11 laps to go. 11 of our 23 laps. So this will be the halfway marker in our race. So, here we go. Gonna go green here next time we come around. Ferrari 94, the leader. Flowdog in second. Skyland third. Leaf Justin is fourth. Jacob in fifth. Skyland, Justin, and Jacob on fresher tires, and the drivers in the front. We'll be ready to go green here as they come off the final corner. Again, it'll be on Ferrari Nut in the Viper when they hit the end of the pit road entrance, or when they hit the pit entry wall. Between there and the start finish line, anywhere in there is your restart zone. Here they go, they're moving off, fanning out early. Going into the final quarter here. Oh, let's see. Oh, yep, there we go. Big, big spin, big spin, big spin. Once again, Mayor from Bag City goes around. You can see, I believe that was JC in the dirt working his way through. I believe that was probably off of the bumper of Legit 14. These guys racing back to the line. Legit in the dirt. Oh, let's see what happened. Something else. Once again, JC in the tire barriers. He is falling back. Meanwhile, Skyland 4 has been able to take the lead here, so on this next yellow, it's going to be Skyland 4 as the leader. And the way this track sets it up, turn 1, you have to swing out wide. A lot of drivers seem to be trying to stick their nose in there where it might not belong to try to make a pass, and that has caused a lot of chaos on these restarts. As once again, we are under yellow here. Barely under 10 laps remaining in this race. Pits will be open. We'll see who wants to come in here. Alright, here we go. We'll see what happens. Ferrari Nut opted to put the fresh tires on. He'll be on the softs. So Ferrari Nut, JC, Gary from Canada, and Mayor of Bag City all opting to pit there, which a couple of those drivers involved in incidents that brought out that yellow. Let's check out some... What do we have here? Our biggest improver over the course of the race has been Jacob with he was up 7 positions from where he started. Of course, the way this race is going, all of this can change completely. Flowdog has moved up 3 spots. Those are your 2 biggest movers. Meanwhile, Mayor of Bag City with this recent yellow after getting spun through turns 1 and 2, he is now dead last in the field, having fallen 10 spots. And Ferrari Nut, who came to pit road, is in 10th place, 8 spots down from where he started. Oh, we see something going on back there. Whoa! It looked like someone was trying to warm up their tires and then just got really messed up. Wow, this is This has gotten a little bit ridiculous here. I guess drivers in the back attempting to warm up their tires, and they all accordion into each other. And once again, a wreck before we even get to the green flag. So, oh, here we go again. We'll find out, but this has been an absolute disaster so far, to be frank. Riding on board with JC, who I think has now had to make 5 stops in this race for damage. That's our first bit of chaos under yellow, so that's at least a little bit of a change of pace from what we've seen. Yep, JC has come in 5 times, Gary from Canada 3, most everyone else with 2 or 1. Flowdog 48 still on the same tires that he started this race with. go green here, I believe, with 7 laps remaining. We'll check out from the back of the field here, because that's where all of the excitement has been on these restarts. Getting ready to go green here. The restart zone between the beginning of the pit road wall and the start-finish line. Riding on board with JC here in the back as they head off into turn 1. Looking to the inside of Legit. This time a lot more tidy through this section of racetrack. That's what you like to see. Look back from Jacob as we have a bit of a mess going through the infield section, heading to the first chicane. Up in front. Oh, a big dive from Dion. Meanwhile, Stanton and Justin leaning on each other through the first chicane. Flowdog 48 trying to make a move to the inside of Skyland up ahead, but not able to get alongside of him to try to force his way by. Now the field's starting to get single file. Doesn't take long to get single file. Ferrari Nut 94, who pitted for the first time on that previous caution, put the softs on. He is now trying to work his way through the field. You can see him up ahead going on the inside of Dion. He completes that pass. Now he has his sights set on Scarface. Everybody continues snaking around the racetrack. Will Ferrari try to lunge here? We've seen that a couple of times from a few guys. He does not attempt that. Looks like he's going to look to the inside here, try to make that shallow entry, that shallow cornering that he's been trying a few times through this double apex turn. He's up to 6 now, working on the back end of Jacob. Let's take a look up at the front here. Skyland 4 continues to have a nice lead. He's been able to pull away from Flowdog. Flowdog falling into the clutches of Stanton Drums. Stanton Drums looking to the right, trying to find a way. Will he attempt to cross over here? Nowhere really to go. Gets into his bumper just a little bit. Not able to get the power down. You can see the rear end wiggling. The tires just not agreeing with that BMW. Oh, he puts it in. The tires in the dust. Able to save it. Used Flowdog to help get that car righted just a little bit. That could have been a big moment. Luckily, everyone gets away with just some minor scrapes. Stanton using a lot of racetrack, a lot of curb, almost swings it out, has to let off just a little bit, but that superior speed in the BMW going to be able to get alongside the Porsche. Going to try the dive bomb. He's able to pull it off. So moves Stanton up into the second position. Now he's going to trace after Skyland. Leafs Justin now. He has his sights set on Flowdog 48, who's still on the same tires that he started on this race on. The only driver in the field who has not hit pit road yet. Let's take a look and see some of these other battles in the field. Mayor of Bag City running 7th, Dion 4-Dub, 0.8 of a second behind him in 8th. There is a cluster going through the final chicane. JC leading this group, Legit, Scarface, and Sober David, all on top of each other as they head down the front stretch. Sober David looking to the inside back there. You can see him, but just not able to get alongside. Meanwhile, Dion 4-Dub having some issues. He's falling back to JC. A bit of a mess here forming for the third position. Leaves Justin catching Flowdog, but Ferrari Nut is catching both of them. A sloppy finals chicane there for Leaf Justin. That's going to allow Ferrari Nut to go around, chops his nose off just a little bit. No harm, no foul. Ferrari Nut moves up to the 4th position. Leaf Justin falls back into 5th. Skyland 4 continuing to lead. Stanton Drums in 2nd. Flow Dog 48 in 3rd. That is going to be the closest battle on racetrack, at least amongst the top 5. So Justin catching up just a tiny bit to the rear end of Ferrari Nut, but not enough. Oh! That was a big move by Ferrari. Massive dive bomb. Flow Dog did not see that coming whatsoever, and ends up losing 2 spots by it. I don't believe he'll be happy about that one. Ferrari Nut on the freshest tires in the field. Or on some of the freshest tires in the field, I should say. But Flow Dog, you can hear over the radio, or at least I'm hearing over the radio, not thrilled with that move from Ferrari Nut 94. We're here on the final lap. The laps finally started to tick away pretty quickly once we stopped having caution flags. Once we stopped wrecking each other. Stanton Drums attempts to make a move, not near close enough to be able to make it happen, so Skyland going to be the winner here in our first race of the evening in the GT cars at Brands Hatch. Stanton Drums comes home in 2nd. Ferrari Nut was able to get up to 3rd. Leaf Justin 4th. Flow Dog 5th. At Jacob in 6th. Mayor of Bag City 7th. JC 8th. Dion 4Dub 9th. Legit in 10th. Sober David 11th. Scarface 12th. And Gary from Canada makes up the rest of the field. And so a crazy race here that saw a bunch of yellow flags, but at the end of it all, it is Skyland 4 who comes out as the victor. Christopher Karch, as some might know him. We'll talk to these guys here in a second. We'll try to get Alright, so let's see who put down the best lap of the evening. That would be Ferrari Nut, who took those soft tires at the end to try to work his way back to the field. Came up just a little short, only 3 seconds short, but with a 54.2, 0.6 faster than the next driver. Fumble through the controls here to get where we can hear these guys in this party.
There with him every time, but coming out of that turn, if I wasn't there to actually bump him, he's gone.
Yeah, he would just yard you out of that corner.
Well, if I run that corner correctly, I can full throttle it from apex all the way to the finish line into turn 1. I don't have to lift at all. I have to get it perfect, but it'll do it.
See, I was taking a much earlier apex through the chicane and still able to full throttle it that way, but just on the exit of that chicane, you just freaking were gone.
Yeah, I just mat it, and as long as I don't do anything stupid with the steering wheel, the back will stay hooked up. The one where you got around me, that's one where I did something stupid with the steering wheel.
Yeah. But, yeah, if I didn't have quite so much traffic, or I stopped the yellow before, I probably would have been a dead heat coming to the line, I think.
I hope. That was a way more dynamic race than I was expecting we were going to have. There was a very surprising amount of tire strategy. I think we all kind of assumed that yeah, we're making our best guess with should we pit or should we not, but it's not gonna make that big a difference, and it made a big difference. And I just got lucky that I had the timing right because Stanton was coming and Ferrari was coming, and I think we would have tried 3 wide if we had a few more laps, and I don't think we would have done it. So I'm happy to escape with this one. Uh, this car did way better on this track than I thought it was going to. I thought I was going to be just shark bait, but it proved me wrong.
Ooh-ha.
Ooh ha ha, yeah, indeed. Skyland 4 coming home with the win. Let's grab Stanton right quick. Came home P2. Talk about your race and again all of the different strategies and what your perspective on it was.
Hello?
Hello. I'm getting all of my muting mixed up here. Stanton, let's talk about your race right quick. Your again all of the different strategies. What was your perspective on all of it all as you came home with a P2 finish?
Well, going back on it, I said I needed track position. I was clearly wrong. I probably should have pit with Chris, and I probably would have been there closer at the end. There just wasn't enough grip on the mediums to make any real moves. Like you needed the grip to do it. So being able to pit when I did, I was able to take advantage of it. I just didn't have enough at the end on just straightaway speed to be able to gain on Chris.
Well, that is Stanton P2. Let's grab Ferrari Nut right quick. You were one of the later ones to pit there. Almost worked out. Needed a few more laps. Maybe needed a couple fewer cautions. Maybe that yellow that or the yellow that didn't happen that extended a yellow at coming to the restart kind of ruined your race maybe a little bit. Talk about your night tonight.
Yeah, that definitely would have been nice to have that one extra lap. Clearly, the Viper was the faster car around here. I mean, I was more than a half second clear on the fast lap there, and that just was pretty much what the car was capable of. And yeah, I just got the tire strategy a little wrong, but almost made it work. Biggest thing was just being stuck behind traffic through the chicane. I mean, there's just if somebody's not taking it, and there's nowhere to go through there, and it kills your whole run up that next straightaway to the second chicane. So. Lost a lot of time there and just was trying to claw it back and gave it everything, but just came up a little bit short. Needed maybe a couple, like Chris said, a couple more laps, and we probably would have been trying 3 wide.
Well, it's a shame we didn't get to see that. Congratulations to our top 3 there on their podium, and we'll see what happens here in the touring car race coming up.
Mayhem.
Oh yeah, and at one point Stanton was even behind me.
Indeed, that did happen.
I mean, I was 10th and got to 3rd, so.
Alright, here we are, ladies and gents, at the second race of the night. Here in the touring cars. My car does not meet the event restrictions. Try to get this all situated. Let's hop into the old shake and bake Mercedes-Benz. And let's get out there. Make a practice lap around. Thinking this will be a slower-ish lap. The touring car is so much different than most other vehicles. Oh. Front-wheel drive makes it very difficult to corner as we get around, let some of these guys go here on the front stretch. Okay, so we work our way into the first corner again. Like with the GT cars, you want to swing out and then late apex that second part of the turn. Want to swing out here, late apex this corner. Just the entire race, this entire section of racetrack is about setting up the next corner. And so here we go. We don't go through that first chicane or the second chicane, sweeping corner that you can get a lot deeper into than you feel like you can. Once again, another corner that you feel like you can go a lot deeper through than you should be able to. Just a quick blip of the throttle here, feather, 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 then off of the corner. And that is a lap around the Brands Hatch, or not Brands Hatch, the Lime Rock full circuit. Let's see. So that is what the drivers will have to be dealing with here tonight. So far in qualifying, only one driver has put down a lap, and that is Legit 14 with a 53.6. Heard people talking. I believe the soft tire not gonna work out this race. I think it's maybe wears a little bit fast. Again, if we have a situation like in the previous race, they will switch to the soft tires. I believe it's borderline with the mediums, but this is like several other races that we have had in this league so far. The tires just barely start to wear by the time the race is over. 5 minutes remaining in this qualifying session. A lot of these drivers opting to take this time to get reacclimated, staying in practice, going from a GT car to a touring car. Two completely different disciplines. Rear-wheel drive to front-wheel drive. Only 3 drivers have put down a lap so far. 1/10 separating Mayor of Bag City and Legit. Whereas Gary from Canada, 2 seconds back of the current provisional pole time. He's able to put down another lap, shave off 3/10 from his lap time. Mayor of Bag City with a 53.1, Legit with a 53.6. Now 3 minutes remaining. This is when you imagine most of these guys are going to start to get out on the racetrack to start putting their lap times down, but still only 3. As we're getting down to the end here, still you can get out there with about 2 minutes remaining and get both of your laps in, so not a lot of hurry. Again, a lot of these drivers are going to use as much time as possible to get acclimated to a completely different race car. There we go. A new lap time down. JC with a dirty 1 minute lap. Have to imagine he got out in the dirt somewhere, likely in turns 1 and 2. Alright, we've had a completely different, or we've had a complete rearrangement here on the leaderboard now that drivers are starting to get some laps down. Mayor of Bag City with a 53.1, Flow Dog 48 with a 53.3, didn't have the finish that he was expecting. A lot of that due to the contact with Ferrari Nut at the end of the previous race. Will he pay that back? Ferrari Nut's first lap is a 53.2. Flow Dog with a 52.9. That will put him on the pole by a 10th and a half. A strong lap out of the Honda Civic. One of only a couple of Hondas in the field. One minute remaining. It sounds like a lot of drivers have already finished their qualifying laps by this time. Flow Dog with 52.9. Mayor of Bag City in second, now moved back to third as Ferrari Nut 94 takes over the second position. So your front row looking like it is going to be Flow Dog and Ferrari Nut. Skyland, the winner of our GT race tonight, is going to roll off in the 4th spot. He may still be out there. We'll see what kind of lap he's able to put down on his second lap. I believe he has made his second lap. So Skyline 4 will roll off in the 4th position. 28 seconds remaining. I believe all these drivers have made whatever lap they are going to. Make sure we are spectating here. Yep, the race is about to start here in a second. And so, here we go. We're about to roll off to start the touring car event. our second race of the night. Landmark Park, the full circuit. La Honda World Racing Civic, driven by Flowdog, is starting off in first. I believe LA Honda. I don't know what I'm saying. Ferrari Net 94 rolling off in second with a 53.046. Close behind is Mayor of Bag City with a 53.1. Skyline 4 has a 53.5 rolling off fourth. In P5 is Legit, who has a 53.6. Also with a 53.6, Dion 4 Dub rolling off in the 6th position. Rolling off 7th is Jacob X99 with a 53.7. JC gonna roll off with a 53.7. He is starting in 8th. Scarface 3D with a 53.9 rolling off in 9th. Leaf Justice 24 with a 53.9 rolling off in the 10th position. Sober David is gonna be 11th with a 54.057. Gary from Canada in 12th with a 53.303. And then your final row is Stanton with a dirty 53.5, so not able to run a clean lap in qualifying. And Nike 2000, who did not run our first race of the night and did not put down a qualifying lap, starting shotgun in the field in 14th. This will be a standing start as opposed to our GT race. So once we get loaded in and that countdown ends, we will be going green. Here we go. Flowdog gonna take off, also in an ally machine, hearkening to Jimmy Johnson. He goes off into turn 1. Oh, Nick, off. He goes off the racetrack in turn 1. Mayor of Bag City has the lead now after starting third. He is going to come out of the first set of corners with the lead. Just a disaster for Flowdog 48, who falls all the way back to 13th in the first corner. Meanwhile, Mayor of Bag City with about a 5-10 car length lead over Skyline 4, our GT race winner. Puts the tires in the dirt just a little bit. Legit trying to find any way around. Jacob X99 on top of him. Skyline goes wide. That's going to allow Legit an opportunity to get alongside of him as they head down into turn 1. Skyline attempts the cross, not able to pull it off. Jacob under fire from Ferrari Nut. Jacob able to hold him off for a set of corners. Now Ferrari trying to look to his inside, not able to make that move work. Tries to dive it in there, not quite able to. Jacob puts a tire in the dirt. That is the one thing this particular variation of this racetrack is very fast, very flowing, but does not offer a lot of great places to pass. But Jacob puts a tire in the dirt. That allows Ferrari to make a move, get the run, pull off the pass, heading down the front stretch going into turn 1. He sets himself in line very tight as they come out of turn 2. Jacob, a defensive line on JC as these drivers all on top of each other, racing for the 3rd position. See what's happening here. Oh, they're all over each other. Leaves Justin some contact from Stanton. Able to hold on to it, but he's going to lose ground to the Cardwell brothers up in front of him. Oh, Justin, I'm sorry. Right up to the dirt, able to keep it off. He's going to get a nice run on Stanton, but Stanton's going to pop out late, try to make a late braking move, not able to pull it off. Leaf Justin able to hold him off. maintain the 7th spot. Oh, a big issue from Skylan. He went off the racetrack. Sounds like some contact from Ferrari Nut was the issue there. Legit trying to stay in touch with Ferrari Nut 94, or with Mayor of Bag City. Mayor of Bag City with a relatively sizable lead. Both of them well out in front of Ferrari Nut at the moment. Mayor of Bag City starting to stretch his lead just a little bit. Meanwhile, the battle for 4th continues on. Actually, JC able to maintain with Ferrari Nut, so the battle for 3rd is continuing on. Looking to the inside, trying to find his line, trying to find his marks. Meanwhile, Jacob out in the dirt behind JC. Went down most of the front stretch, able to maintain pace. Hold on to that position. Already 5.5 laps down, so the laps ticking off much, much faster than our previous race this evening. Ferrari going a little bit wide. That allows JC to pull in just a little bit, but a little bit sloppy through that kink there. JC right now with a little more pace than Ferrari Nut. This is a series that JC dominated the first couple of weeks, finishing first, and second in the first 3 races. Didn't have the 4th race that he wanted in these touring cars, but here in race 5, flexing some muscle, running in the 4th spot. We have a lot of drivers on top of each other. Let's see. Flowdog 48 in the purple 40, or that's just the 81 car, but in the Jimmy Johnson mocked up 48 machine. Trying to hold off Leaf Justin 24, who's in the 7th position. Meanwhile, Jacob X99, it appears to have gotten the dirt again based on where he was running down the front stretch. JC working all over that bumper of Ferrari Nut, trying to figure out a way around. Ferrari started on the front row alongside Flowdog, both of them going wide in turn 1 on the initial lap of the race. Completely changing the field. Ferrari has been able to rebound to 3rd. Flowdog, who fell all the way back to 13th, is up to the 6th position. But still a long, long way to go. With a very, very short time to get there, as they are 1 lap away from halfway. Here's the best battle on the racetrack is Jacob X99 trying to hold off Flowdog and Leafs Justin. Again, there's not a lot of great opportunities to pass here. A lot of fast flow in corners. Basically have to wait for a mistake, which this track, as narrow as it is, and with these race cars at this type of a racetrack, really easy to make that mistake. As you can see, Jacob out in the dirt once again. Oh, Flow Dog with a big mistake. He tried to react to Jacob in the dirt, overreacted, put his tires in the grass, and ended up losing the race car. He falls all the way back to 12th. So once again, started on the pole of this race, went wide in turn 1, all the way back to 13th, was able to get back near the top 5, and once again fell through the field, now in desperate need of a caution to give him any sort of breath of life at winning this race. JC currently working on Ferrari Nut, still trying to hang with him. Ferrari Nut working hard, as you can see, to try to run down Mayor of Bag City and Legit. There they go. A little bit slightly different lines through the first set of corners. But Jacob X99 leading this group. Stanton working really hard, puts his left sides in the dirt, able to maintain control of the race car, but loses a lot of pace, loses a lot of ground to Leaf Justin. Once again, Jacob in the dirt, coming off of the final corner. He has been there a lot. That lets Justin get side by side with him. Leaves Justin up into the 5th position. Let's take a look at the tire wear here. You can see. See what it's looking like for Mayor of Bag City. Nike 2000 falling down a lap. Now Legit trying to work on him. Tires at 37%. So that's exactly what you would like to see if you're Mayor of Bag City. Tire wear looking good at this point of the race. Still a fair way to go here. 6 laps remaining. A lot of time for things to go wrong. You see Nike moving out of the way for Legit. Tire wear in this game starts to go away around the 50%. The car does lose some pace when that number hits 50%. So it does seem like, based on my math, that Mayor of Bag City will hit that number. But by the time he does, I believe it will be too late for anyone on the medium tire to take advantage of it. You can see Ferrari really working hard on the mediums, actually making up a lot of ground here, but it just hasn't quite been enough. And he's also having to play defense from JC, who has been working on his rear bumper but just hasn't been able to find a way around. Let's see, the Nike 2000 lets them go. Ferrari goes a little wide there, almost out to the wall, able to keep it off. He's in every inch of racetrack that he can. This battle between Ferrari Nut and JC, currently the closest one on the racetrack. Not missing anything out front, not missing anything out in the rear end. Has been able to put a little bit of a gap on JC, that set of corners, but now Jarrett able to get in so deep into turn 1. Cardwell trying to look to the inside. Williams trying to hold him off. once again. Gets out near the wall, loses it. JC up the right side. A big mistake out of Ferrari Nut there. That allows Jarrett Cardwell, JC, to move into the third position. Owen Williams back to fourth. Mayor of Bag City continues to lead over Legit as that lead has stretched back out to over a second. Now the closest battle is between Stanton and Leafs Justin, or at least an equally tight battle as to that one between Ferrari Nut and JC. And just trying to find somewhere to make a pass. Just has not quite been able to do it. Stanton looking real squirrely through the uphill section, but able to hold on to it, then gets just a little bit tight, overdrives it just a little bit, puts the tires in the dirt. That allows Justin to get to his rear bumper, but nothing he can do about it. Nothing he can do with it. Stanton runs a defensive line down the front straight. Justin follows him, runs a little bit wide on the entry to turn one, tries to pull the cross, just not able to get the car to grip up for him. Stanton going to be able to hold off Leafs Justin and even put an extra car length or two on him. Lap 17 of 18 coming around to the white flag. Mayor of Bag City with a lead over Legit. Legit is there. Yeah, the tire's really starting to go away on Mayor of Bag City's Audi. Legit 14 all over his rear bumper, trying to find a way around. Only a couple of corners remaining. Neither are great passing zones. All Mayor of Bag City has to do is keep the car on the pavement, and he should come home with the win. But Legit gonna look to his inside, put a bumper to him. Not able to make the pass. Mayor of Bag City gonna come home with the dub. Legit 14 in second. Ferrari Nut 14, or Ferrari Nut 94 in third. Stanton going to be able to hold off Leafs Justin at the line. JC actually lost that spot back to Ferrari Nut as Leafs Justin and Stanton's AI argue over space on the racetrack. Incredibly angry with each other, it appears. Flowdog going to try to make a pass here on Sober David at the end, but just not going to be able to do it. A disappointing race for him. He comes home in the 12th spot. Oh, that got weird. So good. Your top three. Mayor of Bag City Legit, Ferrari Nut 94, JC in 4th, Stanton 5th, Leafs Justin 6th, Skyland 7th, Jacob X99 in 8th, Dion 4 Dub in 9th, Scarface in 10th, Sober David 11th, Flowdog 12th, Gary from Canada 13th, and Nike 2000 in his debut race comes home in the 14th spot. Alright, so a little bit of craziness in turn 1, lap 1, but after that, a relatively clean race. And after all of it, Mayor of Bag City, who took the lead in turn 1, never looked back and was able to win. Alright. Oops.
That one
Yeah.
probably
Speaking
hurt
of which,
me
where are the points even? I haven't even seen any of them at all. The whole
They were
time.
posted before they're on the Discord.
They're
Yeah,
on
they
the-
get posted afterwards.
You just got to go to the points and updates tab. I think you're in like first or second, something like that.
I'd be shocked.
I'm gonna hop out.
In
guys.
overall,
See
in
ya.
overall points.
See ya,
Thank you
dude.
for being here.
Thanks for coming out.
Alright, Nick. Good to see you.
Where is this? I'm not.
Go to
So-
Discord and then go.
I'm in
Yeah,
Discord.
the multi-series, and then go to news and updates.
Yeah, I've
And
only
then
got the
there you
schedule
go.
and broadcast booth. That's the only 2 things I have in there.
News and updates, not in what? What?
Hang on, you might be missing a
given,
roll.
given, yeah.
Well, while Ferrari Nut struggles with the points, let's talk to Mayor of Bag City, who's able to survive the carnage in turn 1, lap 1, and come out with the lead and never look back. Talk about your race.
Yeah, hi J-Mac, good to talk to you. Glad to be here. That was a lot of fun. That was, unexpected. I was very happy with my qualifying pace. I knew Chris was on, or excuse me, Nick was on soft, so I was like, okay, like, my goal is to hopefully follow him, get by Ferrari just off the tires in lap 1, and then hope and hold on for maybe a top 5 or whatever, and that would have been splendid. And then, yeah, it looks like Nick was just a little excited to get into turn 1. Ferrari followed him because, you kind of get caught in that sometimes in a corner like that first corner at Lime Rock. And then, yeah, it was just all about being smooth. Legit gave me a little bit of advice, and it kind of helped me sustain that. And then we just made sure we were soft and smooth the last 5 laps. And, yeah, it was a lot of fun. So it was a really cool time. I'm glad I was out there. And we just kept it smooth and put this Adidas car in the victory lane.
That is Mayor Bag City, the winner of your touring car race tonight. We'll talk to Legit right quick, who came home P2, literally on the rear bumper of Mayor of Bag City in the final corner. Talk about your race and what more you needed to be able to come home with the win.
Of course. So, first off, I'd like to thank everybody for supporting this race series so that we're here tonight racing. Secondly, I've been knocking on the door of a podium in this touring car series for a long time, and I wasn't going to do anything right there to jeopardize it, but I was definitely going to try to make a move coming off of that last corner, and I set him up perfect. But I mean, our cars were just so evenly matched. You could see it in race pace throughout the whole race. I'd catch him by 0.2, he'd pull away by 0.2. I really wasn't super wanting to race super hard because we were on softs and we were kind of gauging where our tire wear was going to be. And once we realized we were good to go, I mean, you could tell our race pace picked up and we were running blistering fast lap times there at the end and raced it out.
Well, that is Legit, who came home in the 2nd position. We'll move over to Ferrari Nut, came home in the 3rd position. Had to survive some issues in turn 1, but able to rebound to a solid podium finish after a heated battle with JC, who has kind of been something of your rival in this subset of the series. So, talk about your race.
Another week, more tire issues for me out there on the medium, just struggle busing it, and pretty much just being a roadblock for Jarrett. He got really lucky that we both didn't end up in the fence when I, for whatever reason, went wide and caught the grass there, and it almost threw the car clear of the inside guardrail off the uphill. And then, I'm guessing his tires started to give up just a little bit, and mine were starting to hold on. They were holding on just a little bit better, considering they're mediums, and got him back into turn 1, kind of let him defend and take the full inside and sucker himself into going deep, and got him back, and they hold it that last lap. But I just at this point I hate this car. At this point, I hate this thing.
Well, Ferrari Nut hates the car, but was able to come home with a strong finish in 3rd in the touring car event. That is all for tonight's action. Thanks for coming out, and everyone that stopped by and watched. We will be here next week for 2 races at the Nürburgring GP and the Touring Mugello. So I will catch